Welcome to the Pro Aging Podcast. I'm Steve Gurney, founder of the Positive Aging Community. We're thrilled to have you join us for interactive discussions with pioneers and thought leaders on a wide variety of topics related to aging and longevity. These insightful discussions and the Positive Aging Sourcebook are brought to you thanks to the support from our Positive Aging Community champions. Visit proaging.Com to connect with them and discover hundreds of valuable other resources. We're excited to have you with us today, so let's jump into an engaging, positive aging, live and interactive discussion. All right, folks, I am really excited to introduce you to some amazing programs today, but primarily the Dementia Friends program. But the first person that I want to introduce you to is Jennifer Hammer with US Aging. Jennifer, tell us a little bit about you, your organization, and your role in the Dementia Friends program.
Sure. Thanks, Steve. I'm excited to be here and talk to you a little bit today. I am on the US Aging staff, and some of you might remember that US Aging used to be N4A, which was the National Association of Area Agencies on Aging, which was a mouthful. So they are now US Aging, and they represent the area agencies on aging across the country and the Title VI Native American programs that serve older adults and people with disabilities. So while US Aging has they have lots of programs, I am the assistant director of Dementia Friendly America. So Dementia Friendly America is really just dedicated to the here and now of people living with dementia, their caregivers, their family members, really anyone in the community touched by dementia or who might be touched by dementia in the future. It's really about increasing awareness, reducing stigma, empowering people to really just not be afraid, to recognize the signs, to approach people with dementia in a confident and competent way. We're not clinical. This is very much for the lay person. So it's not anything to be, worried about. You can go to our website. It's dfamerica.org and check out all of the things we do. But we have kind of three main pillars. We have the Memory Cafe Alliance directory, which I think we're going to talk about that in a future podcast. We have Dementia Friendly Communities, and we have Dementia Friends. So those are our three pillars. I'm really excited today to have Marty Williman here. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to say I'm getting charged up because we got Marty here who's going to talk about Dementia Friends. And Marty, before we dive into this, just tell us a little bit about your background and your role with Dementia Friends.
Yeah, thanks, Steve, for having us on today to be able to share the information about Dementia Friends. I'm a nurse by background, have been working in the aging field for many, many years, and I work with Ohio Council for Cognitive Health. We are the state leads for Dementia Friends in Ohio.
Man, I love it. Okay, now, I'm sure I've got the question, and I'm sure other people listening to this do as well, is what is Dementia Friends?
Well, Dementia Friends is just a great little program that, as Jennifer mentioned, reaches people in all sectors of the community. It's a program that's designed to change the way people think and act and talk about dementia. It's a program that's all over the globe. We find it in over 50 countries around the globe, and it's been here in America since 2017.
Well, I love it that we're replicating programs that are in other locations worldwide because there is some really innovative things that are happening in this space outside the USA. Okay, so tell us a little bit about how can we get involved with Dementia Friends and what program really looks like?
Well, for listeners who are wondering, how do I get connected with Dementia Friends? There is, you can go to Dementia Friends America website and learn more about it, and then check out your state. See if your state has a state lead for Dementia Friends. You can get connected That way, with individually, it'll take you to myself and some of my colleagues at Ohio Council for Cognitive Health. And that's just the starting point. It's very simple. You can find a session near your area and attend it virtually. There are in-person sessions. So lots of ways to get connected.
Yeah, and I can see by the map on the screen here that it looks like pretty much the entire country is being covered with Dementia Friends programs.
Right. There are close to 40 states that have Dementia Friends programs. And then the purple that you see, those represent the states that have Dementia Friendly Communities. So I like to think of Dementia Friends as this really unique tool that communities can use to educate different sectors about Dementia Friends. And as we educate more and more of these sectors, our first responders, our hospital staff, people that work in restaurants, senior centers, etc., we can then build these dementia inclusive and dementia friendly communities all across America.
Okay, so now we've got a few different terms here that you've thrown out. We've got Dementia Friends, but then you also mentioned Dementia Friendly Communities. Can you kind of give me an overview of those and how the two fit together?
Yeah. And so this slide really, does a nice job of pointing out how the Dementia Friends tool, think of it as this 1-hour program that's given virtually or in person. You can take it around all these different sectors that you see, and you can help different community members understand more about dementia, commit to an action that they're going to take to make their community better and stronger in terms of dementia, and to really help decrease the stigma and promote positive messaging around dementia. Excuse me.
That's great.
Steve, I think the way I think of it that makes a little bit of sense in my head. So Dementia Friends is the individual. So it's any individual can come in and take the 1-hour, Dementia Friends session. Hopefully you can find one in person, but there is one online that we offer. And then that supports a dementia friendly community, which is lots of sectors like Marty mentioned. One of the ones I wanted to throw in, because some of our folks are just amazingly creative. There's also a Dementia Friends program for incarcerated individuals, because there's a whole segment of the population that is aging and incarcerated. So, and not only those that are incarcerated, but that work in incarcerated settings. We've also had some folks that have done ones for elementary school students. So there's just a variety of ways that a person can be a dementia friend. So if you just think of Dementia Friend as that individual program.
I love it. Okay, now you both mentioned, okay, and yeah, just some really creative aspects. But what I love about this, is that dementia is affecting all of us. It's affecting incarcerated folks. It's affecting elementary school kids. Like we need a tool like this to get the word out and make people feel supported. But you both have talked about, I guess, do you call it training, or the session that you sign up for?
Session, yeah.
Session.
Okay, session.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that look like? So if I decide to become a dementia friend today, which I probably should go ahead and do, especially in light of that, I'm going to be at the upcoming Friendsgiving that you all are hosting. What does that look like? What does the session look like?
I want people to think about it as kind of a casual session. It's interactive. A lot of participation in it. We have exercises in there that really engage people, but people are going to come away from just with a better understanding of the basics of dementia, what the definition of it is, what the common types are, maybe what some of the risk factors for dementia are. They're going to learn some great communication tips on how to interact and engage people who live with dementia. They're going to learn these 5 key messages that you see. And Steve, what I really like about this program, these 5 key messages that you see on the screen, they came directly from individuals who are living with dementia. There was a survey done in the UK, and these are the responses that were given by people who live with dementia. They want us all to understand that dementia is not a normal part of aging. It's actually caused by diseases that affect the brain. And it's more than just losing your memory. It affects your communication, your ability to plan, to use good judgment, those types of things. But the last 2 points are the most important. It's possible to live well with dementia because we certainly don't want to define individuals based on that diagnosis. So we give that overview of dementia, really focus on these 5 key messages. We talk about great helpful communication tips and resources that people can find in their community. For programs that we do in Ohio, we give people a county-specific resource sheet. So we have 88 counties in Ohio. If you attend a program in X county, we're going to give you a resource sheet for that county, as well as a resource sheet for the state of Ohio, dementia resources, and national.
Man, I love it. And also you'd mentioned that there's online Dementia Friends training and in person. And I imagine at both of those, one of the main benefits of attending a session like this is that you're connecting with like-minded people that are also interested in learning and supporting and receiving support.
But it's really amazing when you do one of these sessions, how many people are touched by dementia, as Jennifer alluded to earlier. This is such a common condition that virtually it seems like everybody I run into knows someone who has dementia, or they were helping to care for someone who did have dementia. So, it's just a program that reaches a lot of people who are already interested in it for one reason or the other.
I love it. Now, I don't want to put either one of you on the spot, but any sort of anecdotal success stories with the Dementia Friends that may come to mind, or broader overall progress with this initiative that you've seen it making a difference in the community?
We just, well, Jennifer, if you want to jump in, go ahead.
I mean, I would say, Marty, you're a Dementia Friends champion, which anyone can be, and that's someone who actually provides these Dementia Friends sessions. So you can, attend one and decide, wow, I would love to give this session and spread the word. So you can become a Dementia Friend champion like Marty, and I'm not yet. I hope to be as good as she is. But one of the things I think, I remember speaking with you about, Marty, was, kind of the words that come to mind at the beginning of a session, that question you ask, and then what comes to mind later. I think that's for me, it was a really powerful moment in a Dementia Friends session. So that would be something that I would flag.
And because a lot of our Dementia Friends work is supported through ACL grants and other grants, we do a lot of evaluation, which has given us those great results that Jennifer talks about. We ask people, what are the first words that pop into your head? And this is before the session starts, and they'll give us, that response. And then we ask it at the end of the program. And the difference in the words just within that half hour, that 45 minutes, is just amazing. So this would be a snapshot of what some of those words might look like when a person, before they attend the session, you can see them there, regression, old, fading, fear, those types of things. And then after the session, or at the close of the session, those terms turn into fighter, dignity, inspiring, adaptations, hope, respect. This is really amazing to see how this little program can really start to change the way people think about dementia.
Yeah, and we just have so many thoughts and stereotypes ingrained in our lifelong learning, our view of ageism, or what a person with dementia or a person in a wheelchair, like who and what they are, that are not accurate. And we need a program like this to just change the way that we all think, and then give us the tools to spread the word so that so that people with dementia, which could be any one of us, none of us have a crystal ball, so that the world is a better place if and when someday we and our loved ones have that diagnosis. Man, this is an amazing program. Marty, Jennifer, is there anything that we haven't talked about Dementia Friends that you'd like to mention?
Well, I think I'm going to promote our Dementia Friendsgiving event on November 18th. You can go to our website, again, dfamerica.org, and we are having a free event with keynote speaker Teepa Snow, lots of really robust information. Steve is going to host for us. We're going to just have just such a great schedule, so encourage you all to go register for that. But yeah, I really appreciate this time. And I will say on the Dementia Friends, just talking about reducing stigma and the negative things that sometimes surround that word, even professionals that work in this space and myself, when I tell my friends what I do, they're like, oh, what a depressing job. And
Yeah,
I
no,
actually go, this is the most positive job I've ever had. And I feel like I'm doing the most good that I've ever done in any job in all of my career. So just want to kind of throw that out there too, that this is amazing work, and I hope everyone checks it out and becomes a dementia friend.
yeah, I agree, and I love the concept of the Friendsgiving event that we're going to be gathering, because folks, you're going to be able to connect with people that have already been through the training for Dementia Friends, and hear about different programs, and not to mention an amazing keynote speaker. So that should be great. Marty, any additional things that you'd like to share about the program that we should know about that we haven't talked about today?
I'll just echo what Jennifer said about it being a great program to be involved with. And I get that same reaction. Oh, you work in the dementia field, and, kind of the frown that people might have on their face. But this program, again, I said it at the beginning, it's a program that is effective in changing the way people think and act and talk about dementia, one person at a time and one community at a time. And hopefully, this will continue to spread throughout the country, so that no matter where I go, if I'm living with dementia, if I go to get my hair done, that person knows that my communication style might be changing, that I might not keep myself up the way I used to. And those are all just normal parts of the disease process of living with dementia. So it shouldn't be a shock to anyone, and that they'll know how to communicate and engage with me, and to continue to include me, even if I can't now keep up with the reading in my book club. I'll still be invited and welcomed in that setting. And really, that's what it's all about. And that's why we in Ohio have developed all these different sectors, because we know that in the developmental disabilities community, that group, that community is aging, just like all of our communities are, and the risk for dementia is in that community too. So we have a specific program for those that live with developmental disabilities. People in faith communities, we want folks to be able to continue in their normal daily routines, because 70% of people with dementia live in the community. And again, that's not something that our media will a lot of times portray, But these are the sectors that you see we're trying to reach with this information. We haven't found a sector yet that couldn't use this information. So you see airports, you see zoos. Yeah, a lot of them there.
Oh, no, this is great. Well, I've really enjoyed our time together, and we will make sure to have links and connections and a link to join Friendsgiving and connect with how you can go through the sessions and find a session in your community. This has been a wonderful discussion today, and really looking forward to seeing this program grow to be larger than it already is.
Thanks, Steve.
All right.
Thanks so much.
You.